right, I am back here doing some more, this one's gonna be actually volume of a cone, so this is gonna be more geometry questions. So we are looking at calculating the volume of this cone right here. So we do have some information here. We do have the 13 feet, and then we also have 10.2 feet. So the height of this cone is from the bottom of the base to the bottom, or well, in this case, the bottom. So it's from the top of this down to here, which is the point of the cone. So that is your height, and the height has always got to be the height from the center of the cone to the tippity top of that cone. And so that is 13 feet. And then our radius, which is from the center to any outside edge of that circle, in this case, 10.2 feet. So we need to take a look at the formula of what volume is for a cone. So a cone, which is similar to a cylinder's base times height, it's that formula. Cones are the same thing, except for they're divided by 3. And the reason why is if I was to take a cylinder, a right cylinder, and I was basically looking to shave off the edges of kind of like from the center of it off, I would have a cone. And so 3 of these cones, if I had them in the same base, which is the same size, if I was to have that same thing, I would have 3 cones with the same diameter that could fit into that same sized cylinder. So our formula for this is base times height divided by 3. But again, base isn't really going to help me necessarily because I don't know what base is. So I have to look at what that base is. The base is a circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So we need the area of the circle, the base, and then it keeps repeating itself all the way to the tippity top of a cylinder. So that would be times the height. But because a cone gets tapered on one side of it, whether it be the top part of it or the bottom part of it, but it tapers and it gets smaller as you get to the tip. So that is the division of 3. Now some places will say 1/3 of base times height, that's fine. I usually like to do this. So we are going to use the 2 pieces of information that are given to us. So we know our height in this particular problem is 13 feet. And we saw that the radius on that problem was 10.2 feet. So we have the information that we need. So we're just going to plug them into the equation. I'm going to show you how to do this in the calculator. So we have this, so we're just going to plug in. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the 13 feet first. So order of operations is the exponent needs to be done first. So we're going to do 13 squared. Oh, sorry, not 13. Oh my goodness. Wrong. This is why we don't do this in pen. The radius squared, 10.2 squared. So do that. And then I'm going to do the height. Now this is all multiplication, so it doesn't really matter the order that you do this in. I'm going to do the height on here. I'm going to just make it as easy as possible in the calculator. And then I'm going to hit the pi button after that. Because you don't want to, when you're doing calculations, you don't ever want to cut anything off. And then we're going to divide it by 3. So in my calculator, again, depending upon your calculator, you're going to have to look at where your calculator is, but most scientific calculators are fairly similar. 10.2, and then this button is right here for the exponent. You might have an x squared button, so if you do, you don't have to do this. You just hit that button. That's 10.2 squared is 104.04, and then we're going to times that by the 13. And then we're going to times the pi, which is the pi button is right here on this calculator. And then we're going to hit enter. That's going to give me that whole answer. We don't ever cut anything off. And then we're going to divide by 3. And then when we do that, we get this answer here. So 1,416.355,632. I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth. So my answer for this would be 1,416.3. It is 55. So if I want that 5, I'm going to have to look at this 5, and that's going to round it up to a 6. And we are talking about feet here, so feet cubed, and that is my finalized answer. And if you want more questions like this, you can find them on our YouTube channel, You Want Algebra. Check them out under the volume section.